Good evening, everybody. I'm Derek Michaud, and it's time to go flush in the pocket. Presented by Brunswick, sponsored by Just in Time Recreation, justintimebowl.com. They are on the verge of rebuilding after that horrible tragedy. They took a picture of a new scoring system that's going in there. So that is awesome. And tonight we have an awesome one. But before we get into that one, we have, I just want to let you know that, of course, Anthony Simonson won over the weekend, and he won his 14th title. So congratulations to him. And of course, the Indiana Classic is this Saturday night on Fox Sports 1. We got a Hall of Famer in the booth with us. We got three-time champion, two queens. She's married to some pro. Lynda Barnes, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Derek? Thanks for having me.
I'm awesome. Absolutely. Thanks for doing this. And no, this is going to be a lot of fun. And, when I first, we were talking off air, I was talking about Chris's first show. And I was like, in the audience, his fiance, Lynda Nori, I was like, Lynda Nori, wait a minute. Oh, okay, yeah. So that was totally cool. And do people call you Nori Barnes or Barnes? Like do you get a mixture of both still, or is it just Barnes now?
Well, my college friends all call me Nori. In fact, if you ever around me and Kim Kennedy, Kearney, Terrell, if you're ever around her, she'll walk by and she'll call me Lori because she'll mix my Lynda with my Nori and call me Lori. So she's one of my best friends, and she doesn't know my name half the time, so it's perfect. Wow. But most of my old college friends will call me Lynda Nori.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, that is awesome. So, how did you get started bowling?
Well, my mom was the youth director at Concord Bowl in California, and she wouldn't let me bowl until I could pick the ball up with one hand. Little did she know she could have started that trend way earlier. But I started when I was 4, and my whole family bowled. My dad bowled, my brother bowled. My brother was kind of one of those athletes who did every sport, and I wanted to be just like him. So I did everything I could possibly do: bowling, gymnastics, softball. I was on the baseball field climbing trees with my older brother as much as I could be.
Yep.
But bowling was my core. It was always there. It was always something I did.
Why didn't she want you to be a two-hander? I mean, just no thumb it, two-handed? What's wrong with that?
Yeah, that was not okay then. I mean, I am old, so that was really not okay back then. But experience, let's say experience. But yeah.
So who coached you?
My mom, Midge Nori, was the one that started me. And then as I got older, I wasn't sure bowling was going to be my thing. I really, I don't know what my focus was, to just get married and have kids. I really just wanted a family of my own. But I was bowling a Team USA state qualifier, and Terry Gregory and Kim pulled me aside and said, "Hey, what do you think about going to San Jose State?" And so I went, okay. And school started in 2 weeks. So packed my bags, got my SATs done, and showed up to school and bowled for San Jose State and got coached by Terry Gregory and Pat Rossler, two of the best. I mean, Pat Rossler was one of the greatest coaches ever. She really just knew how to push my buttons and get me to be the best that I could be at a point where I really didn't know what I was doing. And got lucky enough to be on Team USA. And then it was, we had Fred and Fred Borden. When you can say their one names and people know who they are, they're pretty important people. But Fred and Jerry and Palmer and Mark Baker and I'm forgetting a bunch of names, I'm sure, along the way, because I try and soak up in as much information as I can. But I'm going to say my teammates probably coached me the most. Because while you're on the lanes and you're communicating about lane play, and, Carolyn Dorn Ballard and Kim and I both doubles together a lot of times. Shannon O'Keefe, Stephanie, I mean, the list goes on and on. I feel like I've been around the best in the game. And so those are all people that had a huge influence on what I did and how I did it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and that guy Chris Barnes too might have coached a little bit.
Yeah,
A
Chris
little
Barnes. Hold on, let me Google. Oh,
bit.
that is awesome. We got a few comments already. And what's up? Finally, John Spence has checked out Flush in the Pocket. Good to see you,
John
John.
Spence.
Yeah,
He'll call me Nori.
he'll call you Nori. All right. He says, being the number one bowler in the family, when Chris comes home, how do you get him to check uh, his big ego at the door? Yeah.
Yeah, hi John, by the way. Thanks for the
Yeah.
question. Yeah, Chris is great. Obviously, I know him differently, hopefully, than most people. And that's all a facade. I mean, he's a great player. He knows he's a great player. But he's even a better husband and dad, and that's how I know him. So
I think he's a fantastic human being. I mean, I'm a PBA fan. I actually think he's a fantastic human being.
I think
I'm
you're super nice, Eric. I think there are moments when he bowls when my our personalities are completely different on the
yeah.
lanes.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I have to kind of take a walk
Mhm.
because we vent differently. But
Yeah.
the one thing you don't ever have to wonder with Chris is where he stands and how he feels.
Right.
And I respect that. I don't always agree with how he does it.
Right.
We're trying to mold Ryan a little differently, maybe. Hopefully he's got a
Mhm.
little more mom in him than dad in that area.
Yeah.
But you got to do what you got to do. I never had a problem because he does leave it at the bowling center. When he walks away, he'll
Yeah.
vent a little bit,
Yep.
but he's not like that at home.
We got a super fan here. I'm
Oh,
sure you know Adam. He says hopes to meet you at the TFC in Akron in
oh,
April.
I wish I could be there. We're running all over the place in April. I actually am
Oh,
signed up to bowl. I hate to even say it out loud. The Golden Ladies tournament in Las Vegas, the old ladies tournament.
that just means they're gonna have gold pins. Everybody, it says nothing else.
Yeah, that's what that
Yeah.
means.
Yeah.
And then I'll be going out to Collegiate Nationals, hopefully, to watch the Shockers Bowl. So I'll be there to support Ryan. And yeah, so there's not a lot of time to be going 18 different places.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're retired from bowling professionally, but you are busy. I know you are. I mean,
Yeah, and loving every minute of it.
yeah. So, what did you accomplish in your bowling life that told you, all right, maybe the tour is for you. Maybe you'll be successful. And how did you get on tour? What did you accomplish to say I'm ready?
Well, to be honest, I never tour was never really what I wanted to do. I'm a
Hmm.
team player. I love to bowl team stuff. I like to bowl with other people.
Hmm.
It's so much more fun when you win and you get to win with other people. But I had a gentleman out of California that approached me and said, "Hey, I want to sponsor you. You should go out on tour." And I thought, well, okay, if he wants to sponsor me, so I don't think I'm ready because I still had
Hmm.
so much to learn. I was right after college. And even
Hmm.
though I had a good college career and I was starting, I'd been on Team USA for a year, I just didn't think that being on the road was my deal. But I went. And about the fifth week, we used to bowl 8-week swings then.
Hmm.
About the fifth week, the checks started to bounce. My
Hmm.
sponsor was not legit. So
Okay.
people do
Oh,
your homework when you sign a contract with somebody. Make sure you do some research. The internet wasn't the internet then, so
right.
I couldn't really do a whole lot. But
Mm,
so then all of a sudden bowling became a job,
right.
and I love the game. I
Yeah.
didn't want it to be a job, and so it changed everything that I did. And so I only bowled one swing, and I was miserable and I hated it. And I took 3 years off, went back to amateurs, bowled Team USA again, and decided I'd try again. And just realized it's just not my thing. I love bowling, and when it's your job and you have to make a living at it, I didn't feel like it was true to who I am. So there's one person that's happy, and back in the old days, the
Mhm.
girls did a much better job about being happy for each other and celebrating each other.
Oh,
Um,
sure.
yeah, I mean, we used to have after the TV shows, we'd have huge get-togethers, and somebody would get doused. The winner would get doused with some beverage of their choice, and we'd have cake. And nowadays, it's everybody separates and goes different directions, and it's kind of sad to see. I hope the PWBA bonds a little tighter in the future,
Mm-hmm.
because you really have to support each other.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And I mean, that's so. When did you get back on tour?
So let's see. My first year was like 92.
Okay.
And then I didn't bowl again on tour until like 90. When Chris and I got married in 99, I went back for a little while.
Yep.
And I traveled with Robin Romeo, which was amazing,
Yep.
and Ginny Nacarado. And we had a good time, which
Mm-hmm.
saved my sanity because I didn't bowl great. I made some cuts and kind of broke even,
Mm-hmm.
and made a show here and there, but didn't have a whole lot of success. Went back to the amateur world again because that's when we could kind of go. If you sat out 3 years, you could go back.
Yeah.
And I kind of did that again because it just, I love to compete,
Yep.
but it's lonely out there. It's
Sure.
tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
So
You
yeah.
let's see. Hold on here. So Adam's a fan of Chris. He says it was good to see him bowl in person.
Oh,
And I got a chance to talk to Chris a lot last year in Portland, and it was because a couple of years before I didn't really get a chance to, but I mean I had quite a bit of interaction with Chris, and he's super. I mean you both are, but I mean
oh,
he's
thanks.
yeah, absolutely. I mean
He's
it was
pretty
good.
smart. He's
You should come. You should come to Portland.
I should thinking about it. We'll see. We'll
There we
see.
go. There we go.
Yeah.
Um, so let's see here. Let me. What happened to this? All right. Yay. Okay. Cool. What would you say was your best moment on tour?
Best moment on tour. Goodness. Immediately, this is how I think. This is why I wasn't good on tour, because my moments go to taking a boat ride in Oregon with all the
Okay.
girls. It goes
Okay.
to those kind of moments. It doesn't go like bowling wise.
Yeah.
I made a show in Atlanta, and one in San Diego, and Chris was there,
Mhm.
and they were really hard, and I bowled terrible on the show, but it was a really good week because he was there supporting me.
Mhm.
Trying to think if there's anything that stands out while I was out on tour, because there was some U.S. Open shows that I made,
Mhm.
and those are always big memories, big things. And some of them I wasn't out on tour, but got to bowl in the Dust Bowl in Reno, in the U.S. Open. I got to bowl in Dallas Cowboy Stadium for the
Oh
U.S.
yeah.
Open, which is really cool. So I've got to be some of those crazy shows. But there's not really any. Winning the doubles with Kim was really fun.
And you guys shot 299.
288. 280. What did we shoot? 28. She 5'7".
Oh, did she?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember sitting on the bench because I threw the shot in the ninth frame and sat down and said, "Hey, I'm done. Good luck." And luckily we had won at that point.
Yeah.
So she got the first one, and then the second shot, they were hard, and she
Mhm.
got it in, and it just kind of fluttered through there. And I didn't realize, I might have been a little more upset with her had I know that there was, I think it was $15,000 to shoot 300 on the show.
Right.
So
Yeah.
really, Kim owes me $7,500 at some point. I think I got to get
There you
that from
go.
her.
There you go. What was the difference between winning the Queens in 98 and 2008?
Goodness. Well, I was older.
Well, I know, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I think it was harder because I knew, um, it's a tough tournament.
yeah.
It's sometimes luck of the draw. Um, I always felt like I bowled the best of the best in my, I bowled Leanne, and I bowled Wendy, and I bowled, you know, I always bowled the big names. I had to bowl Liz Johnson to be top seed,
Mhm.
for the one show. And the second time is much harder because you more aware, and yet I was more relaxed too, because I felt like, okay, well, I won it, so what's going to happen? I don't win, and that's okay. But I
Mhm.
also wanted to prove to myself that the first time wasn't a fluke.
Yeah.
So, and Chris was in the booth, the second one.
I know that was he was choking up.
Yeah, and that's crazy because you can't. He was there and he was coaching me all week, and now all of a sudden I can't get to my coach because he's in the booth, and
Right.
so kind of changes the dynamics a little bit. But and the boys were little, and I was just so happy that maybe they could see that hey, mom could play,
Mm-hmm.
and that was kind of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it
That's
was cool.
awesome.
It was fun.
So not to you know, when Chris won in Dallas in
Yeah.
'03,
Uh
were
huh.
you guys there or did you have to go home and get
No,
and
no,
that was cool.
we were there. I was really
You were
lucky.
there.
We had some help.
Okay.
And so what we what we did, because Chris had
Mhm.
rabbit ears, he could hear those boys that they sniffed loudly. He could hear 'em. So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
would try. They're always in a stroller or one in somebody's arms and one in somebody else's arms, so we could run offset or
Mhm.
stay away. And we just kept him off the show while he was bowling, so he didn't
Mhm.
have any distractions. And then the minute he won, we were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
okay, bring him on.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
awesome. John says he's headed to Delaware next week and to
Oh,
see Chris and the boys. Yeah,
I
that'll be cool.
don't think Chris will be there. I think Chris is on his way home, and I think he's going to take a week off.
Well,
Puppy
very
stop.
good. Well, I mean
Yeah, I think so.
his birthday is Sunday, so he's going to celebrate, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks for reminding me. Glad you said
funny,
something.
funny story of how I know that. So Brunswick Circuit Pro Bowling, you were on
Oh,
two. He was on, of course, both of them.
right.
They would give little tidbits about the pros, whatever. And then I saw, oh, Barnes, uh, born February 25th. I'm like, oh wow, his birthday is a day after mine. That is awesome.
Oh,
So,
well, happy
so
early birthday, Derek.
thank you very much. That
Yeah.
is awesome. What would you say was your worst moment on tour?
Hmm. Man, there are so many of those. I'll say probably that first year of bowling when I got really grumpy and I got really frustrated because I had to make a check to bowl the next week because I didn't have any money. I was
Mm-hmm.
fresh out of college, didn't have anything, and was just trying to make ends meet. And
Mm-hmm.
I was a little hot headed for me. It's not my personality.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Kim pulling me aside one time and telling me, "Hey, calm down a little bit. It's okay." It's like, but I don't have any money, and it really clarified why I bowl. It's not for the money. I bowl because I love the game and I love the competition and the
Mm-hmm.
for me, when I try and bowl for money, it changes my whole demeanor. So I try not to do that.
Yep. Yep.
So it's not a good motivator for me.
No.
No,
Well,
it's nice.
yeah. So how'd you meet Chris?
Oh, do you want my story or his story?
Well, I'm trying to get him on the show. So
So you
uh
want to? I'm sure he's listening, by the way, because I think he's driving and I think he was putting it on. But
what's up, Barney?
so yeah, I'm gonna get yelled at if I tell my side. But you can have him on and he can tell his side. But
Okay.
I was in college. He was in college. He bowled that Shoot for the Stars with Lisa Wagner and Marshall Holman and those guys.
In when he was 19 years old.
Yeah, he was a baby,
Yep.
and he. I felt bad for him because he said something to Marshall. They got mistaken and taken wrong and out of context, and he was getting blasted everywhere about being an arrogant kid and all this kind of stuff. I felt bad. I didn't feel bad for him, but I felt like it's not fair. People were judging him and they didn't really know.
Mm-hmm.
So I met him at Collegiate Nationals my senior year, and he came over and he talked to me, and I thought he was super, super cute.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he really kind of put the moves on my teammate. And so it kind of was like, oh, he's that kind of guy. And he'll tell you that he did it to get my attention. And to this day, he says it worked because I remember it. So it must have worked. But and we met and talked a little bit and kind of went separate ways, dated other people and did all that stuff and met again through Team USA.
Yeah.
And on Team USA, we started to become friends and it just kind of developed over time. It was, I ran and he chased me, thank God. Super thankful for that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a Kansas California relationship for the first year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. It's I a good friend of mine. I lost touch with her, but a good friend of mine, Gabby Mayfield and Brian Valento, were actually at my house. They came to Maine to hang out with me for a day, which was
Yeah.
totally cool. And they, she mentioned she, were you guys friends? She mentioned you and Chris and whatnot, and
Yeah, yeah, Gabby,
yeah,
we hung out
yeah,
on tour a little bit.
that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, that was a group. That was a group of
Yep,
people.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So um, in the 1999 U.S. Open, Chris was pretty much ball repping for you
Well, he was ball
because,
repping because that was when they had the men and women at the same time.
right,
So he was ball repping because he didn't make the cut.
right, right. No, it's
Sorry,
just
Chris, just telling the story.
that's all right. Yeah. How and it was you kind of struggled on that show, and I don't know like why your
Oh,
look wasn't the greatest, but
yeah, I think
why like
your
what's that?
memory's going.
On the show?
Yeah, I missed a 9 pin
Oh, right,
in
right, right.
like in the 8th late in the game.
Mhm.
And if I doubled, I could have beat her, but I think I got the first one, I flat 10 on the second one.
Yeah.
So
Okay. How
it wasn't that
helpful
bad.
no, okay. How
I'm the
helpful
first
was it
one to
to
admit
have
when I struggle.
yeah, no. That's
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Make your
Um,
spares, kids, though. Make your
yeah,
spares.
absolutely.
Yeah.
How what is it? I mean, how much does that mean to have him, repping for you like that? And he did it in another tournament. I think it was when Michelle won or I mean, how much I guess how helpful is it to have a professional bowler as a spouse?
Yeah. He's amazing. He has so much knowledge and he sees the lane so clearly, and his knowledge of equipment. Um, uh, there's not a whole lot better, but again, we do things a little differently. And I'll tell you a funny story. Just learned this the other day. This is how good our communication skills are. I haven't shared
Mhm.
this story with too many people, but all these years, Chris would look at me. I'd get up in the 10th frame, and Chris would look at me and he would go like this. And I was like, oh, my rhythm's bad.
Mhm.
I better throw it better. And so I would throw it better. And just the other day, while Ryan was bowling, I saw Chris do it to Ryan.
Mhm.
And so it's been, we've been married 25 years now.
Mhm.
So it's been 25 years of this and me going, okay, I got to throw it better. And I said, so what does that mean? What are you telling Ryan? Because he's throwing it really good. He goes, that means ball change. So
Oh.
for 25 years, I'm
Oh
thinking I got
no.
to throw it better. And he's thinking ball change and never said it. He never got irritated with me,
Yeah, yeah.
never yelled at me. And I thought, I can't believe you kept quiet all this time. That I didn't even know what you meant. So, yeah. So sometimes the communication is great, sometimes not so much. But
Yeah.
it's always great to have people in your corner. And,
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
like it better when I can talk to him than when he's in a booth. It's hard to communicate when
No,
he's in a booth.
sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, how did you guys get started with your JDRF?
Yeah.
What because what's it like? Or hold on, what's it like to be a pro bowler and then you're all of a sudden you're a parent of a child that has type one,
Yeah.
and I mean that's gotta be brutal.
It was the best and worst week of my entire life, I think. I bowled, well, 2 weeks, I guess. I bowled the Queens and I won.
Hmm.
I bowled the Clash the next week and I
Hmm.
won. And I was home for 4 days
Hmm.
and Troy was diagnosed. So
Oh,
this is 2008. So he was 6.
yeah.
And our whole world's just changed because it
Hmm.
became, do I leave? Do I go? Can I stay? What does this disease entail? What
Hmm.
do I have to do? I was making phone calls. I was reading every card book made in the world. I was
Hmm.
trying to figure out what it meant. And I made a phone call to JDRF because it was recommended through a friend of mine
Hmm.
and walked into the office and found support and found some great friendships there that made me feel like we were going to be okay.
Hmm.
And for a mom who couldn't fix her son and take
Hmm.
that disease away from him, it
Hmm.
gave me a place to feel like I was helping him by trying to find a cure.
Hmm.
So we jumped. It was the next year we did a strikeout diabetes event,
Hmm.
and we just grew and grew. We did it for 5 years. Um,
So that
And
was your event. You guys headed that up.
yeah, we did the Strikeout Diabetes event. We did
Okay.
it. We started at AMF Louisville, and then we moved it over to Plano,
Hmm.
and it was great. We raised a lot of money. We raised over $400,000 in 5 years. The bowling family is incredible. I just can't. Got me through a really tough time because people really just got behind us and showed support and checked in and asked questions and um, made Troy feel special, and that was important at the time. And then we kind of had to back away a little bit because as Troy got older, he
Hmm.
didn't want it to be about diabetes so much.
Right.
So we stopped doing the events. We still support JDRF.
Right.
We do the walk, and I try and do fundraising, and I share information. November is Diabetes Awareness Month. So in November, you'll see a post every day from me that talks about
Okay.
something about diabetes just to build
Hmm.
awareness.
Hmm.
Because I didn't know anything about it until he was diagnosed. So
And now you probably know everything about it, right?
no, still learning,
Yeah.
still learning, still checking.
How's he
Um,
doing?
he's great. He's really good. It's a really tough. I mean, all diseases are tough. Everybody has
Mhm.
their struggles.
Sure.
But the every time he eats, every time he does anything, every time he gets emotional, every time he breathes the wrong way, the wind blows, his sugars go up and down.
Mhm.
I think the hardest thing for me and for him is that people think they know about it.
Mhm.
And so everybody has an opinion about, well, why are you eating that? Or why are you doing this? But they don't understand.
Right.
And you don't ever want to go because you don't know what you're talking about,
Right. Yeah.
but you want to sometimes. So I think that's the hardest part. But he's off at Stephen F. Austin in the music program, and he's doing amazing. And we're super proud of how he does. It's a tough disease. He manages it as well as he can.
So what genre is he leaning towards? I mean, I'm assuming he's going to pursue a music career.
Well, he plays the bassoon.
Okay.
So if you were like I was, I had to go look it up because I had no idea what it was. It's beautiful. It's a wood instrument. It's beautiful. It's a double reed. He
Mhm.
plays all the other instruments. He's got way more talent. I don't know where he got it from because it's certainly not from Chris and I. Um, but it's incredible to listen to him play. He wants to be a band teacher, a music teacher, I guess, music education.
Mhm.
We're kind of still trying to figure out where maybe start middle school and then get his master's and go into a college program. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome. I mean,
it is really cool.
Troy, I hope you're watching. I hope you're doing well, man. I mean, we're
Yeah.
friends on Facebook. I'm so proud of him. I'm so glad that
Huh.
he's doing better,
Yeah.
and doing great. And, you um, so who, who do you feel like you beat a lot on TV or beat a lot in match play? Whose number do you have?
Gosh, whose number do I have?
I don't mean phone number, just so people know.
Yeah, I don't. Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
All
feel
right.
like, yeah, offhand.
Mhm.
Goodness, who do I beat a lot? I don't know. I don't know that I ever pay attention to it. That sounds really. That's a cheesy answer,
No,
but it's really kind of the truth because I don't. I blow the lane.
sure.
I'm gonna get in trouble for saying it, but that's the truth.
Well,
Like I got in trouble out on tour because somebody would throw a good shot. Oh, hi, Poppy. And I would throw my hand out and say, "Nice shot."
mhm,
And people would say, "Why do you do that?" And I said, "Well, because it's a tough game. I respect
right,
talent."
right.
So, I always felt like I was bowling the lane, and if I bowled better, if my score at the end was higher than theirs, then
Mhm,
I win. And if it's lower than theirs, then I need to bowl better on that lane. So it
mhm,
was, I learned to walk away and go, "Hey, I own 13 and 14," not, "Hey, I beat Carolyn,"
mhm.
because then it became a personal thing instead of just learn how to be better. Be better.
Have you ever bowled Chris when it mattered?
When it mattered. Yeah, actually, we bowled a mixed doubles event. He's gonna get mad at me again. I bowled a mixed
Well,
doubles event
mhm,
with a good friend of ours named Tony Lanning, who is now running the PBA, the
mhm,
tournament director on the PBA tour. Tony and I bowled doubles together, and Chris was bowling. I'm not even sure he was bowling at this point. And it was coming down the stretch, and we were bowling for 1-1-2,
mhm.
and Chris got up and threw a strike and gave it the whole slapped it out, and I looked at Tony and he looked at me and I said, he just slapped it out against his wife and one of his best friends. Really? That's just who Chris is, though. He's all in. Doesn't matter. He's never going to give it to you. You got to
No,
earn it.
no. Have you ever bowled like singles match play with him or anything like that?
Um, Not really. Nothing I
Okay.
can. We were hoping to bowl against each other in the clash, but I bowled terrible and didn't get out of the first round. So,
Okay.
um, yeah, not really. We practice again with each other against each other all the time,
Sure. Who
and
wins?
uh, you'll have to ask him when you have him on the show. I don't want to get in trouble.
No, you're good. Okay.
In my mind,
Um,
I win a lot.
so oh yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
get you. So
yeah,
who has your number?
man.
Who had your number?
Leanne.
Leanne. Okay.
Leanne probably, and I don't know if it's because one of my last shows was the Cowboy Stadium at the U.S. Open, and you know I was bowling really really good, and as Leanne always does, she's an amazing bowler. She found a way and
Oh
went off
yeah.
the sheet. I think she threw the last 7 or 8 at me,
Mm-hmm.
last something like that. Um, but I just remember a lot of times because we bowled youth leagues together, or not leagues, but tournaments and stuff growing up. She was the one, and I always felt like you'd feel like, okay, I got off to a good start, I'm ahead, and then she'd all of a sudden just find it. It's just what
Mm-hmm.
she does.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I had an answer for that one.
No. Yeah. All right. There you go. All right. So, who is a bowler that you never faced on TV that you wish you bowled against?
Hmm. Who
Hold
do I
on.
wish?
While you're thinking about that,
Yeah.
John, John Spence has this. Yep, that's awesome.
John's one of my favorites. That's why.
Yeah.
I probably, gosh, trying to think, who would I want to? Maybe Tish Johnson,
Yep.
because we have such a great friendship.
Oh, she's beautiful. She is a
Yeah,
beautiful person.
I love her. I love her
Yep.
real and who she is, and and we got again. I grew up in California, so she was one of the people I always looked up to,
Mhm.
and we never made a show together, but we used to bowl lots of pro-ams next to each other, and
Yeah.
we just always had a blast. So I
Mhm.
think it would have been, but when we bowled against each other, it was very competitive. I bowled her for the the final match for the Queen show in 1991. And I remember having to sing the national anthem, like facing the flag,
Oh.
singing the national anthem the whole time to myself so that I wouldn't watch Tish because she was full of gamesmanship. It's just what she does.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I'm confused. I went somewhere else there.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought I thought you were singing the national anthem at the Queens before the show or
no, no,
whatever.
no, no, no. Oh, no, no. There'll
Okay.
be no singing out loud. Never.
I
Never. Ever, ever.
have connections. I'm gonna make it happen, guys. But
No
anyway,
chance.
okay. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, probably Tish, because we would have had a blast and it would have been super competitive and there would have been some trash talking
You
for
trash
sure.
talk? No way. You're so
Yeah.
nice. You don't I've never heard you trash talk.
Oh, it would have
Wow.
been good. It would have been good. We would have had some fun with it.
Yeah. All right. That is awesome. And Tish was on the show and she's so I mean, she's incredibly nice and
Yeah.
she's what a person. I mean, she's
People
incredible.
don't know.
I
People don't
mean,
know. She's the best.
right.
She's a great teammate.
What bugs me about certain attitudes about certain pro bowlers is, and I'm not saying from them, but like
Mhm.
people that I'm sure there are people that love Chris, don't like Chris or whatever, but
True.
they watch him for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, you know, come on.
I always say this, Derek. I always tell everybody, so let me come to your job and let me
Mhm.
stand behind you and watch you. Do you ever get mad at your job? And if somebody were to put their hands on your check and go, okay, you made a mistake, you're not
Mhm.
getting paid. Would you take it as lightly? And,
Yeah.
I think,
Or
yeah, I think it's just, it's so easy to judge. And he's not, I mean, none of us as players are perfect, and all your mistakes are out there. You can see it all.
Mhm.
So you just try and do your best. I always say go to dinner with them and then make a judgment. Go have some fun, get out of the bowling center,
That's on my
and
bucket list, man. Chris is welcome in. I mean, I, I know that this is your episode and we're talking about Chris a lot, and I'm sorry about that.
wait, wait, wait. Here, I got something I did for you. Here, let me find it.
Okay,
I got
yeah.
to do this. I got to do this. Because I knew this was going to happen. Can you see it?
I can.
I
And
just want you to feel like he's here.
no, it's all good. No, listen, that's awesome. We had Mika on the show, and
Oh, that's fun.
yeah, and he was saying how Chris was an amazing cook. No,
Mika's being funny.
yeah, no, he wasn't saying that. I'm being funny. No.
Yeah, no, he does make a mean spaghetti. I'm not kidding. His spaghetti is one of my all-time favorite meals. I'm gonna get rid of him because that's enough.
No, that's
Yeah.
all good. No, listen, I kind of feel bad, and I shouldn't. I mean, because but
we're a couple. It's okay. It's good.
yeah, that's awesome. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
it's all right.
So okay, so you didn't shoot 299 at Sam's Town. Okay, I got to change that. All right.
I mean, it's
Hold on
good.
one
It's your
second.
story. You can say whatever you want to say.
No, it's all good. How did the folding of the PWBA in 2003 affect you?
Gosh, it made it easy because I had the boys. The boys were born in 2002,
Mm-hmm.
so it was, for me personally, it was perfect timing because I got to be home and be a mom. I
Mm-hmm.
felt terrible, obviously, for the girls that were up and coming, people like, Kelly and Liz and, so many of those ladies that were just starting to hit their stride. And
Yeah.
nobody ever wanted to see that happen.
Kelly just won her first title too.
Yeah, Kelly was just getting started. Kendra Cameron Gaines, Curry. I mean, of all these names, it's greatness.
Yep.
Depending on when you met people along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think it was really sad to see, and again, because tour wasn't really my thing, it
Mm-hmm.
made it simple for me to go, you know what, I'm just gonna love the game. I'm gonna love bowling, and it's not about making money or being on the road. But it was a terrible thing to see.
Mm-hmm.
John Summers and all those guys, they spent a lot of time and a lot of their money
Mm-hmm.
trying to make that tour go. So it was heartbreaking
Oh yeah.
for the sport.
What was your favorite tour stop?
Favorite tour stop? I loved, goodness, probably Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a really fun, everybody there was super nice. And the girls went out and did a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
We took a boat ride. We did some other, it was just a fun, it's the one that sticks out when you say it.
Where it wasn't Portland, was it?
It was Portland. Yeah.
It was Portland. Okay.
Yeah, it was Portland.
All right.
Yeah.
That's all right. So check it out. For those of you, because we've got nine viewers, and if you haven't liked or subscribed, check out Flush in the Pocket podcast on YouTube. And this is Flush in the Pocket presented by Brunswick, sponsored by Just in Time Recreation. Check them out at justintimebowl.com. We're chatting with the awesome Lynda Barnes. Where would you say was your least favorite tour stop? Like, where did you struggle a lot, or just just didn't match up well?
Woodland Bowl. Is that
Oh,
Indianapolis? Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I remember there's a pair in the middle low end of that house that I think I shot 120 on it. Ball on the other end's full good. Go back to that same pair or that area and shoot like 130. I mean, it ate my lunch. It just
Still beat
owned me.
Tom Doherty. Yes, I went there.
Yeah. Yeah. Painful.
The
Painful. That
ladies,
center's hard.
the ladies went to Woodland. I did not know that.
I think it was a US Open. Or no, it wasn't a US Open.
Okay.
It was a lifetime ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. So John
That was always that was a fun place.
Yeah. That is awesome. Where did the PWBA never go that you wish they had gone to?
Where did they never go? Hawaii, Italy.
A lot of people say that. A lot of people have been saying Hawaii.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we didn't have a Portland, Maine in our world. That would have been fun. Something like that would have been awesome.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
I think it's cool. I think it's
Yeah?
really cool. Yeah, I dig. They make it fun
Hmm.
when you have people that love the game and love the sport and are outside doing their thing and coming in
I
and
mean,
cheering.
I love it. Like that first year in 2015, I met of course I met Chris and I met, Mika, and I was buying beers for guys that I didn't have to buy beers for because they made a lot of money or whatnot, but I was treating them like heroes, and I loved every second of that. And that was
Yeah,
thank you, Tom Clark, man. That's incredible.
it's a great experience.
Yeah. So, what was a PBA rule that you agree with that maybe somebody else didn't?
PWBA
PWB.
rule.
Yeah, PWBA.
Um,
Sure. Yeah.
Let me see. A rule that they had that I agree with that other people didn't. Gosh,
While you're thinking about that,
yeah,
not to bombard you, but Sydney wants to know who's your favorite bowler that you bowled against.
favorite bowler. Who's asking
Wait,
this? Let me make
wait,
sure you
hold
get
on.
the right
Oh,
answer.
wait, give me a second. Sydney, right here.
Who are
Uh,
your favorite bowlers to bowl against? All of them. I loved bowling against Carolyn. She brings the
mhm.
fire.
Oh yeah.
Man, that intensity.
Yep.
Excuse me. She's amazing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, she makes me want to play. Amanda Vermilia from Minnesota,
Okay.
Team USA player. Smiles all the time. Just makes you love the game to be around her.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
So, what's easier to be around? I guess I probably should know the answer to this. Somebody like Amanda, like you were saying, or somebody like Kim Adler, who actually never smiles during competition.
Yeah, I don't like the no emotion thing.
Yeah.
I think we need some of that.
Mhm.
Excuse
Yeah.
me.
Abs
Yeah, I think we need some fire and some happy. I mean, just something because I think that fuels the
mhm.
spectators and it gets people to fall in love or hate you.
Sure.
One or the other. But
Right.
it makes them watch.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
that's one of the great things about Pete Weber is nobody ever says questions anything about his talent ever
Yep.
because he is one of the greatest of all time. But to watch him, you either cheered for him or against him, but you cheered, and that's what we need in our sport. Sometimes I think the women get so, and the
Mhm.
men sometimes too. There's some of the players that are pretty
Mhm.
flatlined, a little boring.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like the fire or the enjoyment or the
Oh, yeah.
show how
You
you
have
feel.
it. You have it. I
Uh,
mean, I remember the US Open '99. You were when you were close and you were striking when you needed to strike, you did, and you're like, "One more right here." Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, you were
I
so did you
tried.
come Yeah, absolutely. Did you come up with a rule that you, were fond of and other people weren't?
I'll tell you the rule I'm super excited about, that I think that
Okay.
they're moving into, and it's kind of starting with the PBA, but the time clock, having a clock, because
Oh.
from a viewer's point of view,
Mhm.
when I'm live, when I'm watching on, full TV,
Yep.
and there's nobody up on the lanes, and
Mhm.
I'm watching 8 lanes, and nobody's bowling, and it happens for 45 seconds because one guy did this or one and nobody no, that drives me crazy and the women are slow, so
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that the women will catch on to that because it's the wipe your shoe 17 times and the arm swings and the bag and the like, okay, can we just bowl because I want to watch you throw a shot, and I get you have your pre-shot routine, but I think it needs to be,
Yeah.
you need to be up ready to go when it's your turn. If you need all that pre-shot, then get up there and be there when it's your turn,
Right.
just from a viewer's perspective, because I think when people tune in, if nobody's bowling, they need to go.
Now, I just listen, this is not a podcast that you can get in any trouble or anything like that. But who would you say is the slowest bowler you've bowled with? If you want to
Cool.
answer that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're gonna get me in trouble.
Or not,
The Wichita State bowlers used to be really slow.
Okay.
WSU players used to be really slow. They are not anymore. I mean, those guys, the guys' team, they bowl. They're
Yep.
6 frames in before the even team's throwing a first shot. But but it's changed. I think it used to be like Venezuela. Well, those countries were always the last ones done every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So and then you bowl out on tour. Rocio was one of the slowest ones. She had a lot of pre-shot routine habits.
Sure.
I think she's worked on changing that because she did catch a lot of flack over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to call her out by any means because
no, we love you, Rosso.
Yeah, we love her. Wish her well.
Yeah,
I know she's had some health issues. I'm glad to see her back and healthy. And congratulations on the baby. Yeah, nothing personal.
No, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
When I first did this podcast, because I, of course, have my radio station, and
Right.
people said, "Geez, you should do a bowling podcast," and I was like, "Man, I don't know if I'm going to be any good. I don't know what to call it. I don't know where to go with it." Parker was the first interview that I ever did with a pro, and Parker's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And when I was thinking of questions for him, I was like, the questions that I'm asking you, aside from the personal ones, everybody gets those.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, what I mean. There's only so many questions you can ask somebody.
Right.
But what's a PWBA rule that you didn't like, don't agree with, or anything like that? Past or present, either way.
Present. She's gonna get me in trouble. God, I don't know that I have one really that I don't agree with. I'm not a big fan of. You can get me in trouble. The attire.
They have to go through me first.
Okay, the attire these days. I maybe I'm old, and I'm trying to change my bad habits. But I think when we started bowling, we had a professional image that we were trying to create, and sometimes I think the ladies aren't looking in the mirror. How else to say it? But as a woman, I don't want to. I think things have changed. Like we used to wear skirts with shorts underneath, and I think now the girls wear shorts with skirts over the top. So I think I have to change the way I look at things too, because I'm old. But I think we used to wear pantyhose. That was a rule that we had to have. And now, do I think that a lot of them could wear whatever they wanted because they look amazing and they're incredible? I think that's great. So, but you're representing, our sport, and sometimes we need to keep that in mind when we're bowling. That's as nicely as I can put that. I'm sorry.
No,
I feel old when I say things like that, but it just feels,
What do you think of the bowling jerseys that they have now that they've,
I dig it.
Yeah,
I like them. I like them.
If you do you like your name on the back, or if you
this one has my name on the back actually, which is I felt weird putting it on, but yeah, I think they're great. I think it gives sponsors a chance. I mean, that's what we need. We need sponsors. We need people that will support what we do, and it gives us a chance to promote our companies and the people that support us. So I think they're done tastefully. We've done a nice job of keeping them to a certain size and certain placement. And Kim Adler was one of the first. I think she did a great job promoting the game and bringing in outside sponsorships.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I when I got on Bowlify staff 3 years ago, 3 years ago, I always wanted like those high five gear shirts. I always, those are so expensive, but now when I wear the Bowlify shirts, I feel like I'm wearing I love the clothing that I'm wearing, and it's incredible. And I would wear this now, or I'd wear it now, but gotta love laundry, right? So, all right. So, what was not a PWBA rule, or is not, because I'm sure you follow the tour, that should be a rule?
Yeah, I go back to the time thing. I think there needs to be a time limit. Get up there and go. Let's go. Let's bowl.
Do you agree with the penalty?
Yeah, the PBA one is strong. I mean,
oh yeah,
it's strong. I don't mind it because but if you're going to have a penalty that strong, then you better be ready to enforce it.
Mhm.
I think that's a huge deal. I think, yeah, you got to be able to enforce it. You got to have the right people in there that'll actually do it. And it's been a while since I bowled out on tour. Obviously, I haven't bowled in 6 years. So,
Yeah.
hopefully things have changed. But, and the equipment, where the girls carry their equipment and put it, that drives me crazy. Have
What
a
do you
little
mean?
common respect for each other where you put your bowling balls.
Oh, a lot of
Yeah.
people trip over them.
Well, they just put them, they pick
Yeah.
a spot and they put them in the middle of the
Oh,
settee area, or they
sure.
don't carry them from pair to pair and
Mhm.
they leave them behind.
Yeah. Oh.
So things, little pet peeve things, not important in the big scheme of things.
Oh, well. So Adam wanted to know how proud you are of Ryan. The last regular question was, what was it like to see Ryan bowl on TV? Man, he did great.
It was crazy. It was
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
What was that whole week like?
It was crazy. It was just a crazy ride. We were super excited when he made it out of the PTQ,
Mhm.
because there was no expectations. He's in the middle of college. He's trying to finish up things. He's going 1,000 different directions. It's in his hometown, so to speak, for now. So there's a lot of external pressure too. And then dad and mom, everybody's there. And when he made it out of the PTQ, we thought, well, this is really cool. He's going to learn so much. Then he made the cut. And then it was, oh my gosh, they're going to bully each other. How's that going to go?
How did that go? I know Ryan won, but what was that? What was the camaraderie and the
It,
interaction during the match? And 'cause
well,
I don't have bowl TV, so
yeah, that Chris Barnes guy, he's pretty intense, and he's always been, if you're going to beat me, you're going to beat me. It's going to be because you
right.
earned it. So they bowled on what I think everybody would agree was one of the tougher pairs, and because
Uh-huh.
obviously the scores were really high that week.
Right.
Um, and they Bull TV had me sit in the booth with them. And I was super thankful because then I wasn't sitting right behind them having to pick a side.
Right.
So I watched it from the booth, and, it was a battle and they were back and forth. And I know at one point, Chris walked back and Ryan had his hand out, and Chris didn't see it and walked right by him. And everybody thought that was hysterical. It wasn't intentional, but it
No.
was it was a funny moment because Ryan was like, "Hey, what?" Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it was good. I'm glad it was early. So it wasn't the final round, because then
Yeah.
people would have been stupid and said dumb things about who
Oh
won
yeah.
or what happened, or, it
Oh
was
yeah.
early enough. They were both still in the hunt, you know. So it was good. It was fun. It was just fun to watch them bowl each other.
Yep.
I don't think
So
dad could have been any prouder.
oh man. So John Spence says Hall of Fame needs a college bowling part, and both Chris and you would be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, well, they just did a college bowling Hall of Fame.
Oh,
I believe Kelly went in, Rick Steele Smith. Um, I don't know the other names off the top of my head, but I know those are the two that I recognized. We're submitted, we put in, but maybe we'll get in later.
and yeah, John agrees that Wichita was slow.
Really slow. They're
Yeah,
not like that anymore, John. They're much better.
yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, much
I
better.
mean, so all right. So we're done the regular questions. When was the
Okay.
last time you bowled 300?
Ooh. Okay. So when did I bowl 300 last? Probably I quit bowling for 4.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So uh maybe eight. It's probably 19. Let me think about this. Let me get my math right.
Uh-huh.
17, 2019, maybe
Okay.
somewhere in there.
So, all right. So let me ask you this: Is it when you stop bowling? Because I don't think I could stop bowling for 4 years and pick it right up. I'd be, oh my god, what the hell? How how easy or hard is it to get right back into it? Because those balls are heavy. Maybe if you're bowling candlepin or duck pin or whatever, that might be a little
Maybe.
easier. But what? I
Yeah,
mean,
it's taken me a while. It took a bit. Like the boys thought I bowled. The only reason why I started bowling was because Ryan was doing his Barnesy Bowling channel, and he said, "Let's
yeah,
have a match, the mom and dad against the boys." And that was the first time I had bowled in 4.5 years. And I picked up a 13-pound ball that I had used for an injury recovery a
Mm-hmm.
lifetime ago. And I
Mm-hmm.
bowled. And I looked at him and I said, okay, when you start rolling, you can't stop because I can't stop. If I get moving, I got to keep going. There's no stopping and starting today. And
Mm-hmm.
so we bowled and it was really fun, but it was a 13-pound ball and I didn't bowl again for a little bit longer. And then they kept on me and I started back. I'm up to 14 now. And I don't know that I'll go any more than that because
Oh,
I don't really need to.
if I
But
was a 900 global guy, we could trade equipment, but I'm
yeah,
not.
there, there you go.
Um,
Yeah,
all right. The reason I ask is because you're in a bowl of 300 tonight. By the way, who won that match?
we did. The mom and dad won. We whooped them. We
So was it
whooped them.
like
We took them
it's like
down. I threw a six bagger.
yes, go you.
Yeah, 13
Uh,
pounds, not bullet in 4.5 years. We killed them. It was fun. We had
did the
great. I don't,
ball hit like it was? I
oh,
mean,
it was high
oh,
flushed off my hand. I wasn't rolling it.
there we go. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Because
Yeah.
you're gonna bowl 300 tonight. Just a little fun thing that I created, going flush in the pocket.
Okay.
So this is gonna be awesome. So let's start. What's your favorite food?
I did anything Italian.
All right. So
Love Italian food.
when people say Italian, I always have to do this because I'm a pizza guy.
Yeah.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Um, sure.
Don't.
But pizza doesn't count my Italian category.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But if you're gonna do the pineapple, you gotta do the ham.
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's okay.
All right. Favorite music?
Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy
I'm
Buffett.
a
All
parrot
right.
head.
How sad were you when he died?
So sad. I'm so
Did
sad.
did people all right, so are you a big Buffett fan?
I'm a parrot head.
Did people text you when he passed?
No. No, because
Funny
I don't think any of
story.
my friends are. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, my kids. I used to sing Buffett songs to my kids at night, so they
Oh,
both
nice.
knew.
So when Toby died,
Hmm.
uh I got a text. I got 3 Facebook messages Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
And one of my buddies was like, "Did you hear the news, buddy?" And I'm like, I was like, "What?" So something prompted me to ask my Echo Dot how old Toby Keith was
Yeah.
because I don't know. That's how I confirm if somebody's passed or not. And she
Yeah.
said Toby Keith died February 5th, and I'm like, oh man. And I knew it
Hmm.
was coming, but
Yeah.
it still sucks.
It does suck.
So, do you listen to anything other than Buffett, or is that like
Yeah.
you
I
listen?
like to dance. So anything
Yeah,
current
there you
that
go.
I can dance to, I'm good with.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure. Animals.
Okay.
3 dogs, 2 cats. If I was Chris has cut me off at heartbeats. I can't have any more heartbeats in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'd have a gazillion animals. But definitely my guilty pleasure.
There you go. Oh yeah, you guys are definitely dog people.
Yeah.
I remember. uh, I remember you guys had a dog, Espy,
That's me.
many years ago.
Yeah.
How
She was
long
the
did
best.
yeah? How long did
Yeah,
she
she was 12 when
yeah.
she passed. Yeah, we had an SB and we had a striker and they were both little Shih Tzus.
Mhm.
Best dogs ever. Great. SB was like the kids. I had her before we had the kids.
Yep.
And she was like their little mama. She was best dog ever.
Oh, there you
Super
go.
cool dog. Yeah.
Any phobias?
Afraid of the dark.
Really?
Yeah. Chris always thought that the night lights were for the kids.
Okay.
They're not. They're for me.
Okay. See,
100%.
I've always been a dark person.
Yeah.
And I don't mean humor-wise, with
Yeah.
even though that too.
Yeah.
But if I could, I would make my bedroom the bathroom because there's no windows in there. It's just pitch black.
Oh,
Be
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I
All
don't.
right.
Yeah. And sharks. I'm afraid of sharks. That would be the other thing.
Yeah, I would never go swimming in the ocean.
Yep. I'm not an ocean
Uh,
person.
all right. So I know we talked about it, but who's a better cook, you or Chris?
Definitely Chris. I don't like, I shouldn't say that. I don't like to cook.
Really?
Yeah. What is Chris? I eat to live, and he lives to eat. That's what he says. So I eat because I have to, and I just don't like to cook. I'm not a planner. I like,
Okay.
okay, I'm hungry. I need to eat something.
It's funny because when Big Finn was on, he said that Chris couldn't boil water.
Oh no, he's yeah. They have that
Okay.
love-hate relationship, I think. I don't know if that's true.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. All
Yeah.
right.
Chris does a couple of mean things. The spaghetti is really good. I'm getting better. I'm starting to do more, but
That is
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So what are you binge watching right now?
I'm watching The Crown
Mm-hmm.
right now. I was all about the Viking movies for a little
Mm-hmm.
while. Uh, and I started watching Ghosts. I had a friend of
Mm-hmm.
mine tell me about Ghosts the other day, and I started watching that one.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Uh, yeah, that's where I'm at.
There you go. You watch The Crown, but you won't throw the crown. All right. I'll leave it alone. No.
No, the crowns are in my trophy case. They don't get thrown.
There you go. Um, Party all night or quiet night at home?
Ooh. It goes back and forth. I'm a good party all night, but I need 3 days to recover.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So John Spence wants to know what's your favorite moment from college bowling?
Favorite moment from college bowling? The parties, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We get to have a good time in college. We had some of the best times. Oh my goodness, so many great times in college. St. Louis, nationals every year, Las Vegas. You know, you know.
Yeah.
John knows. Don't get me in trouble, John.
You know what? When I created this, I got to tell you, when I created this podcast and I went the way I did, you know who inspired me to do it, and I want them on my show, Ryan Schaefer and Mike Machuga,
Yeah.
because it seemed like every time they would voice their opinion about something,
Mm-hmm.
they would always get fined.
Right.
And it's like, so listen, this is a unsanctioned podcast. If anybody wants to come on and just whatever,
Yeah.
you're welcome. You
Unsanctioned
know,
doesn't mean it won't get fined, by the way.
yeah, that's true. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
But
I got you.
I
No, I
appreciate
got you.
I get your opinion. I
Yeah.
like it.
Favorite time of day?
Favorite time of day. Um, right after dinner. Usually, like when the family's together and we're sitting at the table,
Yeah.
we torture our kids. We make them sit there with us and we make them talk to us for a minute.
Oh.
No electronics. Try and have a conversation.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
tough. Yeah, we're tough.
No, that's all right.
I do
If
like climbing into bed with the animals and curling up, watching
yeah,
TV with Chris.
there
That's
you
the other.
go.
That's the other favorite time.
That's awesome. If you could be on a game show, I mean, I'm sure that you watch. I don't know if you watch like Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, Celebrity Jeopardy, or
Yeah.
whatever, any of those game shows. You could be
Hmm.
on a game show playing for a charity. I'm pretty sure I know what the charity is, but what game
Yeah.
show would you be on?
Okay, so I would do. Here's what I would do. I just came up with this. I think I would do. What's the new one? Your celebrity, a famous celebrity. What is the name of the show? Celebrity famous. Like you have a
No, it's like
famous
We Are
famous
Family or something like that.
like a
Or
famous relative. So you have to try and guess who the relative is.
claim to fame.
Claim to fame. That's what it was. That's what it is. But it might. I couldn't do it now because people would know it's Chris or Ryan.
No, no. I'll
Yeah,
tell you.
maybe.
I'll tell you why you couldn't. Okay, I'll tell you why you could. Because unless you're a bowler, you know, unless you're a bowler or a bowling fan, you could totally do claim to fame. I want to make this happen.
I claim to fame
Um,
would be fun. That looks like a
yeah,
fun show. It just looks
I
fun.
love that show.
Yeah, it is
Um,
fun. I'm addicted.
my so I am so glad you watched that. I'm gonna be texting you like in June every week. Um, I was watching the first show and I was hooked right away. I was like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it, and then I was like, oh my god, I love it. And
How
then
did they not
so
know that that was Donny Osmond's relative?
which one, Chris?
Yeah, how did they not know that that was that he was related to
Oh
Donny
my god, I
Osmond?
know he
Come
looks alike.
on.
He looks alike. I enjoyed.
Anyway,
I think my
okay,
the first season was better than the second
I think
for
so
me
too. Yeah.
because my sister, she was like, I was trying to tell her about Claim to Fame. Nah, I'm not gonna watch that. Why would I watch that? And then she started watching it, and she goes, "Do you want to know who everybody's related to?" I'm like, "Yeah, not really, but I want to know who Logan's related to."
Yeah.
And then, she said Jason Aldean, and I'm a diehard Jason Aldean fan. And I was like, because first week I wanted him gone because I want to know who he's related to.
Yeah.
And then when I found out, I was like, he better friggin' win this thing.
Yeah, that's right. Go all the way. Yeah.
And then,
It's a fun
what?
show.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then when I knew he was screwed. Like later on, when he had to reveal the duet with Miranda Lambert
Yeah.
and Nate, I was just love it, love the show,
Fun. Fun.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, or
Favorite,
Dancing with the Stars. I would do Dancing with the Stars. So that's not a like game show, but
you would do Dancing with the Stars?
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
We got to make that happen. Favorite line from a movie?
You had me
About a
at
movie.
hello.
Mm-hmm.
That's too
Okay.
easy, but that's really I don't know what happened with Chris, and I don't know why, but man, I fell hard.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
it's just
Chuck Gardner used to say that if you can hook a ball, you can get any woman. And I can't hook a ball, so I'm still single. I
no.
throw a really bad backup ball. But
I honestly don't know if I ever watched Chris Bowl. I just until but yeah, yeah.
Adam wants to know if you'd ever go on Wheel of Fortune.
Sure. I like Wheel of Fortune. That'd be okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
So would you ever, okay, hold on. What was your funniest moment with the ladies off the lanes, or on or off the lanes? Sydney wants to know.
Funniest moment with the ladies.
Yeah.
Think about that. My funniest moment was a lifetime ago. It's funny to me. Let me not share that story. Let me think of another one.
Oh, darn it.
Well, we had okay, I'll tell this one just because. I was
Yes.
bowling doubles with Pat Healy in
Uh-huh.
Korea. We were on a TV show, and we were bowling the TV show. And I went to bowl, and ladies, all my lady friends will get this. My bra broke, and so I was waving at somebody, and we're bowling. We're in the middle of bowling. There's people down the lanes. There's nowhere that I can go to fix this. And I'm kind of bowling. I'm like, oh, this is not good. And I wave at one of the cute little ladies over there, and she goes, "What's going on?" And the guy gets on the microphone, and he goes, "We have to pause for technical difficulties." And she walks me over and gives me a safety pin, and we kind of, fix it up. And so that was one of my funniest. I laughed hysterically and was horrified all at the same time. The funniest moments. There's so many fun times with all the ladies. I think my funnest time was bowling USBCs with Kendrick Curry, Shannon O'Keefe, and Tennille Grijalva.
Mm-hmm.
We bowled before they made all the rule changes, and we were followed around with the USBC cameras.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the funnest 3 days. I mean, we giggled and laughed for 3 days, and we ended up winning. So I don't know what comes first, the laughter or the winning. But it was 3 days of just hysterics. So much fun.
I'll give you an embarrassing story because
Yay.
I feel like I can.
Yeah.
I don't wear pants when I bowl. Relax, people. I wear
What?
shorts. I wear shorts.
Okay.
So that's why I said relax. What is he bowling in his underwear? No.
Yeah.
I was bowling men's league,
Okay.
and on a Monday, and I kind of have, I don't know if you've ever seen me throw a shot, but I have kind of a long backswing and a big one step, because I take one step and throw it.
Okay.
So my pants down there start ripping in practice, and I'm like, oh shit.
Oh no.
And then all of a sudden by game 3, they're gone. And I'm like, I'm apologizing. My captain's like, it's a men's league, relax. I'm just like, yeah, but still. And so that is why I do not bowl in pants. I don't care if I'm overweight, underweight. It's always going to be shorts. They are very much more forgiving.
Be tough for you to bowl on tour or regional or
Oh, I know. I
and
know.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Well, my average, I don't qualify. So there's that.
Okay.
Um, if you could have dinner with 3 people, living or past, who would they be?
Goodness, this is always such a tough question.
Mhm.
My dad
Mhm.
and probably my 2 grandmothers.
Mhm.
Um, just to tell them I love them and squeeze them. That would be it. Yeah,
Mhm.
my family members. It would be just to get a hold of them one more time and just hear stories and maybe ask some questions about things I didn't ask when they were around.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, yeah,
I got to be honest with you. I think you're one of the, like I've said before, I think you're one of the sweetest people ever. I've known that. We've been Facebook friends for quite a while.
yeah.
Um, you're one of my favorite people. So with that
Oh.
being said, how do you want to be best be remembered?
Um, I guess um, a good wife and mom and
Mhm.
someone who loved the game.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, there's so much more that goes into that, but a good bowler who
Yep.
loved what she did, and I hope people know that I respect the sport and I'm thankful to the sport.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to pull something up here because I messaged a couple people that have
Yeah.
bowled with you.
Uh
And I'm trying to get it here. No, 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 nothing bad.
oh. Trouble.
But I was trying to no, no. Let's see, where is it? Michelle. You remember bowling with Michelle Sterner, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever bowl with Michelle Sterner?
Talk about
So
another
I
fiery
messaged her
person.
and oh, she's
She's fiery.
we go back and forth about the Bruins and the Sabres.
Yeah.
Um, but I asked her if she, what she memories that she has of you, but she says that she's known you for years, that you're a genuine person, which I get, fierce competitor who enjoyed some laughs while on tour, she loved to watch you bowl, and she said you were
Oh.
smooth as silk.
Oh. I'll buy the next round, Michelle.
There you go. There you go. Well, that's awesome, Lynda. Thank you so much for coming on. I hope it wasn't hope you had fun.
Oh, it was
And
always fun.
yeah. So next guest is next Wednesday, Jerry Mars. And then 2 weeks got Tennille Grijalva Milligan.
10-10.
So that's gonna be 10-10. That's gonna be awesome. So we will talk to them too. And this has been Flush in the Pocket presented by Brunswick. Lynda, hang on 1 second before I let you go. But that's it, everybody. And I'll talk to everybody later.
Thanks,
And
Derek.
check out justintimebowl.com, our sponsor. So I will talk to you guys next week.